Greetings, loyal, precise, private Scorpio. My name is Eliane Nicole. I'm an astrologer and tarot card reader, and now I'm going to get into the June 2020 forecast for the sign of Scorpio. I'm going to do a tarot card reading to start with, and then in the second half of the video, I'm going to talk about the astrological planetary transits of June and how that might manifest and show up for Scorpios. And I recommend that you watch the videos for your sun, moon, and rising. And if you don't know your sun, moon, and rising, you should definitely contact me for a birth chart reading. Everyone should have their birth chart done at least once in your life. It's an invaluable tool for self-awareness and self-discovery. But for now, let's see. As we enter the month of June, Scorpio, we see the Page of Pentacles reversed. So for some Scorpios, if you have children, this is something going on with your child in school in the beginning of the month. They may be having an issue. If you don't have children, then this has to do with maybe a delay in a new business opportunity, a delay or a postponement in a new business opportunity, something like that. Maybe a delay or postponement in a financial situation. That could also be a manifestation if you don't have children. And you are covered by the Six of Wands. So this is a victory happening that's in the beginning of the month. And you were crossed by the Fool. So this month is really, June is really about new starts for Scorpio, new beginning. And the basis is the Chariot reverse. So the basis is, things being on hold, things being at a standstill, pulling back the reins on moving forward. Sometimes this card has to do literally with the cancellation of travel plans, or canceling or postponement of a journey. What's leaving is the Star. This could be a person who represents the Star to you, or it could be the idea of serenity, grace, calmness. What could come into being is the Four of Pentacles reversed. So it looks like around the 13th through the 15th of the month, you might be taking a gamble, you might be taking a risk, you may be making a big expenditure of some kind. What will come into being, it looks like you are coming out of a period of deep reflection or possibly a period of meditation. Maybe it's waking up after dreaming while you're asleep, but it looks like you're turning around your ideas about something around the 16th through the 18th of the month. Fears or insecurities are around, this is around a business decision. It looks like you are considering whether to continue working on something that you've already invested in and already started to see some rewards from, or you want to maybe go and try something new. Others see you as the Devil reversed. So this is coming out of a situation of bondage of some kind. Your positive feelings are the Eight of Rods reversed. So it looks like you feel positive about slowing down, about a postponement or cancellation in plans, something like that. And then the outcome is strength. You look very strong at the end of June, Scorpio. So that's the tarot overview for Scorpio for the month of June. And now I'm going to talk about a little bit about the planetary transits. June 2nd, the asteroid Pallas Athene is reversing into Capricorn retrograde. And I haven't previously talked a lot about the transits, a lot about the asteroids on this channel yet, but I'm going to start incorporating them in because I've been working with them with people a lot in my private practice, and I feel like people are enjoying them and getting a lot of information from them, and so I want to share them. If you don't know what an asteroid is, don't worry about it. You can still just listen to this, and if you're interested in learning more about the asteroids and where they are in your chart and what that means, you can contact me and we can do an asteroid reading, and I'll take you through all of your asteroids and where they're placed. But the asteroid Pallas Athene, who rules our wisdom and our strategizing skills, our chess playing skills, she's reversing into Capricorn at the beginning of the month. And for Scorpio in general, this is going to be going into your third house of communication. It's also the house of, it can be the house of siblings or neighbors as well. So there could be re-strategizing going on in any of those areas of life for Scorpio, around neighbors, around siblings, or around communications. Communications is the usually widest, most familiar meaning of that house. It could be anything from thinking, learning, writing, talking, anything around any of those areas. Also media, and also like minor technology kinds of things, details kinds of things. So that will be where you are re-strategizing over June. And June 3rd, Vesta, the asteroid Vesta, is entering Cancer, and that will be in the house, in the ninth house for Scorpio. And so this is about your personal devotion, what keeps your inner light flickering. And for Scorpio, this is going to be about a spiritual search, or for some, maybe it's more of a religious search. For others, a lot of time this house is associated with travel and exploration and a devotion to that. Many cannot travel at this time and will not travel at this time, so it's going to probably be manifesting in more of spiritual exploration, philosophical exploration, religious exploration, higher truth exploration. And so that's going to be happening through the rest of the month. June 5th is the full moon and prenumbral lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. That will be happening in the second house for Scorpio. This is the second house of finances and possessions. It's also the house of values and self-esteem. Lunar eclipses bring up the shadow, and it can illuminate the shadow in ourselves or in others that are around us. And it will be around those areas: values, self-esteem, money, possessions. When the shadow comes up, it can be shocking. Oftentimes, lunar eclipses have to do with endings, culminations, letting go, releasing. So it will be in those areas for Scorpio. And June 18th, after the second half of the month, Mercury will be going retrograde in Cancer. And when Mercury is retrograde in Cancer, that will be entering that house again, the ninth house for Scorpio. Mercury retrograde in Cancer can be emotional communication, sensitivity around communication. There can be, insecurity in communication and things like that with Cancer retrograde. And again, it's in this house about higher truth, about philosophy, about religion, about spirituality. So that's an active house for Scorpio in June 2020. And again, this is happening towards the end of the month, but you had Vesta moving in there at the beginning. So June 20th, the sun enters Cancer. It's Cancer season. Scorpio, Cancer is a very harmonious, flowing energy for Scorpio. It's a watery sun. Scorpio is a watery sun. This will be, in your house, in your ninth house. This is going to be highlighting, spirituality, religion, higher truth, philosophy over that season of, June 20th and through the first half of July as well. June 21st is the new moon and annular solar eclipse in Cancer. And the new moon is a great time to set intentions, to plant the seeds of intention that you want to grow and to manifest. It's very cosmic, fertile soil for beginnings. Cancerian themes include security, they include the mother, they include the home, they include the roots, the ancestors, the past. It can be land and territory as well. In particular, this new moon is happening in the 9th house for Scorpio, so you could also be setting intentions around 9th house themes, which again, I'll repeat, include spirituality, higher truth, religion, travel. Even though we're not traveling now, perhaps there's intentions you want to be setting around travel and exploration for when that returns and is available to us again. So all of these things are areas where you can be setting intentions under the new moon of Cancer in your 9th house. And also wherever it is in your personal chart would be an area to be setting intentions. And so Neptune retrograde June 23rd, the house that Neptune goes retrograde in, oftentimes there is a fog in that area. Neptune will be retrograde in Pisces. For Scorpio, this is the house of short affairs. It's the house of children. It's the house of games, fun, hobbies. So Neptune doesn't really impact us unless it hits one of our personal planets. Many astrologers call it one of the transpersonal planets. But you could be feeling the effects if there's an aspect with one of your personal planets. So if you think you're feeling some Neptune fog in that area or in any area, and you want to know what's going on, definitely contact me for a transit reading and we can get more into that and where it's retrograding specifically in your life and what that's triggering for you. June 25th, Venus goes direct after being retrograde for the whole beginning of June. So for the first 3 weeks of the month, we still have Venus retrograde in Gemini. So these are still issues of communication in relationships. It's Gemini, so it's all communication. It's all talking and thinking and writing and how we relate to those closest to us. Gemini rules the siblings, Gemini rules the neighbors. So it could be that communication has come up for review this month with siblings or with neighbors. It could be, it also rules our romantic relationships. So communication issues coming up for review with your spouse or your lover or your significant other. It could be in partnerships, business partnerships, communications coming up for review. Old friends often circle back in during Venus retrograde. Old lovers sometimes, old romances can circle back in, can communicate with you during Venus retrograde in Gemini. For creative people, old projects are coming up for review, or maybe you're starting to work on them again. Sometimes people have writer's block during Venus retrograde because Gemini rules writing. So all of these things can happen during Venus retrograde. Also, sometimes there can be financial issues or personal appearance issues that come up during Venus retrograde. So if any of those things are coming up in the first 3 weeks of the month for you, that's very normal. And June 25th is when it goes direct, and these things will start to find some kind of resolution or some kind of new direction. And if you don't feel that immediately around those areas, June 25th, don't worry, because the retro shade period of Venus will last until July 31st when it returns to the degree it was when it originally went retrograde. June 27th, the end of the month, Mars enters Aries collectively. This is going to be a time where people are very impassioned, people are very driven, people are charging forward. I think collectively there will be a pioneering spirit. There will be a feeling of wanting to make a new start. and a lot of energy with that Mars entering Aries, where it's Aries is at home, Mars is at home in Aries, excuse me, and so yeah, where that is in your own chart, you will be feeling particularly driven and motivated in that area of your life. Mars is also associated with the libido, and so sometimes it can mean, feeling driven sexually and on the conquest and wanting to fulfill that kind of desire too around the end of the month. And then June 30th, Pluto is conjunct Jupiter, and this is a big aspect. The first time we experienced it exact was April 4th of this year. So if you want to think about thematically what was going on for you then, what people, what situations, this theme is going to be prominent June 30th again. And collectively, a theme that was prominent was that there was a big surge happening with the disease, with the virus, and we were being asked to stay at home and to keep ourselves safe. So I'm telling people to be mindful of that during this second time that this planetary aspect will be exact, because Jupiter is expansion and Pluto is death and destruction. But Jupiter is also expansion of power, and for some that will be the tone that this aspect takes for people. And wherever it is in your own personal chart, there can be an expansion of transformation or an expansion of power in that area of your life. It can also be a place where there's an outside powerful influence coming in to create some expansion or opportunity for you. So it's not all bad, it's not all good. It has different ways of manifesting in the physical form, but it's important for us to look at all of those ways when that's what the tool of astrology is for. And that's the end of the reading for June. Thank you for joining me, Scorpio. If you liked this video, give me a like. If you didn't like it, give me a don't like. Please follow me on Instagram at astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole. I've started doing some daily updates in the stories there that show the quicker moving transits and how that kind of cosmic weather might be affecting us on the day-to-day. And in the feed, I always try to do posts of the bigger long-term planetary things that are happening and updates with the tarot and other spiritual tidbits. So please join my community there and have a wonderful June, Scorpio.